What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. It's your boy Santi. If you're already here, kindly smash the like button. If you're new, kindly subscribe to the channel and support your boy as I push my way to 10,000 subscribers. In this video, we're gonna discuss the talking point as Arsenal advanced to the Champions League quarterfinal for the first time in 14 years. Number one, David Raya is in. A lot of question mark was raised over his signing over the summer, considering the fact that Aaron Ramsdale was a popular figure in this team and among the fan base in general. But Raya came in, and even though evidently it's been shown that he improves how we play on the ball, there are still people that warms towards Ramsdale as opposed to him, me included, because for me personally, I've always believed, he's better on the ball. That's evident. We look more better with him in goalpost playing going forward. But when it comes to shot stepping, when it comes to being, when the pressure is big over the course of the season, he's not really been that guy. And in the first leg, I said something that I'm waiting for a day we win a game just because of David Raya's brilliance. And in the second leg of this tie, he just showed that and cleared every single doubt from my own side personally, that he belongs at this club, belongs on the biggest stage. After saving 2 penalties in his post-match press conference, he was saying he should have saved 3 penalties. At least that was after saving 2 to send us through to the quarterfinal for the first time in 14 years. And this guy was still hungry for more. That's the kind of mentality you want to see in this team. And even before the penalty shootout, it was amazing during the game. Had 3 saves, 9 accurate long balls in 32 passes, 2 penalty saves. David Raya had a complete performance against Porto. And even on the ball going forward, it was the reason why we stayed in the game. We could have considered, but made 3 massive saves during the game. And during the penalty shootouts as well, made 2 saves, which made him the Arsenal goalkeeper with highest number of penalty saves in a single Champions League match in history. So yeah, anybody will still have some doubts over him, over his mentality, over whether he belongs at this club, over why he plays ahead of Ramsdale, over why Ramsdale was taken out of the team in his favor. I think that performance from that Porto game last night should clear every single doubt about him. It was really, really massive in that game. Number 2, Martin Odegaard showed everyone why he was made the captain of this club. In that game yesterday, majority of our first team players were completely out of the game. Declan Rice wasn't having a good night. Jorginho wasn't having a good night. In fact, it was Odegaard carrying that midfield on his back, leading our press from the front. And Arteta came out to say that the reason why he was made the captain is because he leads the team with his performance. And some of his teammates also came out to say, this guy never hides. No matter how rough the game gets, no matter how bad the game gets, he's one of those guys you look up to and you just want to give all your best. I mean, if you're looking at your captain running his socks off, leading press, trying his hardest to make things happen, and you as a team, as a teammate, you just want to look at your captain doing this and you want to put more effort yourself. And that's exactly what he did yesterday in a game whereby 80% of the team was not really in it. He carried that game on his back and never stopped running for an entire 120 minutes. Provided a beautiful assist for the Trossard goal, which brought us back into the game. In that game, Martin Odegaard has now provided as many assists in 2023-2024 as he managed the whole of last season. 7. What an assist it was. It was a very beautiful assist, and it takes a lot of technical ability to be able to pull that off. I mean, I personally didn't even see him putting the ball where he put it yesterday, and massive credit to Trossard as well, making that run, timing his run perfectly well, and slotting the ball slotting home the finish perfectly well as well. So Martin Odegaard in this team is just so perfect, considering the fact that we only got him for £30 million. That is one of the best deals Arsenal Football Club has ever done in history. And there's a crazy tweet that was made in 2014, exactly 10 years ago. If Arsenal do sign Martin Odegaard, they are a shoe-in for the 2024 Champions League quarterfinals. This tweet was made in 16th of December 2014. Do you know how crazy that is? I've never seen anything like this in football. Genuinely, I've seen a lot of screenshots of tweets that was made in the past, Facebook posts that was made in the past, how something was going to happen in the next future, in the nearest future. But this particular one is not a screenshot. There's an actual link to the tweet. It was made 10 years ago. I just cannot wrap my head around why someone would think about something like that when Odegaard was barely 16. And I think it was just getting his move to Real Madrid as at then. And thinking Arsenal would sign off one of the best wonder kids in world football from Real Madrid. That's like signing Vinicius Jr. from Real Madrid before he broke into their first team. That was like signing Rodrigo from Real Madrid before he broke into their first team. So how crazy is that? Number 3, defensive solidity. Our team is so good defensively that no matter how poorly the entire team plays, our defense is just so good, bar an individual error from one of the defenders. But as a unit, they are so solid and so difficult to break down, except someone actually make an individual error, which hardly happens these days. I mean, it was a thing last season, it was a thing in the beginning of the season, but over time, that individual error, that bozo moments has vanished from the team. And even before the Liverpool game, where Saliba was caught out by Luis Diaz, I can't remember the last time we had an error directly leading to a goal. And that yesterday game, Porto had a lot to throw at us in the game, but the defense was just so solid. Kivior, Gabriel, and Saliba and Ben White, just, everything that was thrown at them, Declan Rice, were so good defensively, and David Raya as well. So there's a famous quote that says, attack wins you game and defense wins you trophies. And yesterday was an example of that. Without our defense yesterday, we'll probably be out of that game. Even before the second half kicked off, the defense, kept us in the game. And that was an improvement for this Arsenal team over the year that has been known for shambolic defensive performance from the days of Mustafi, Socrates, Rob Holding, and all of these guys. We've been a poor defensive side over the years. I mean, there's one thing that Mikel Arteta has fixed in this team, this season especially, it is our defense. In the league, we have the least XG conceded. We have the least XGOT conceded. We conceded the least goal in the league. And even in the Champions League, every single home games we've played in the Champions League, we've conceded 0 goals, which means we've kept 4 clean sheets in 4 home games in the Champions League this season so far. That's a massive thing. Going forward, heading into the quarterfinal, if we can keep this up, it actually means we'll go really far in the competition. Before I go on, here is a crazy coincidence. Every single teams that have reached the UCL final after knocking out Porto. 2016-17, Juventus knocked out Porto in the knockout stage and went on to the UCL final. 2017-18, it was Liverpool. They went straight to the UCL final. 2018-19, it was Liverpool. They went straight to the UCL final. 2020-2021, Chelsea straight to the UCL final. 2022-2023, which was last season, Inter Milan straight to the UCL final. 2023-2024, Arsenal has just knocked out Porto. And what awaits us? And there was one as well in the group stage where Lens beat us in the first leg in the group stage. And the same thing happened to AC Milan. I can't remember the years. They lost to Lens and went straight to win the Champions League. Lastly, I'm going to talk about the general team performance. I think even though the entire team was poor yesterday, somehow they still managed to stay in the game, and that's what matters most if you want to compete at the highest level. If you want to compete at the highest level, even on your worst day, you have to grind out results somehow. We've seen it happen to Real Madrid in the Champions League this season as well. They've been poor in some games and still managed to grind out results. In the first leg against Leipzig in this round of 16, they were poor and still managed to get out a win. In the second leg at the Bernabeu, Xavi Simons was running riot in their midfield. The only reason they proceeded to the quarterfinal for me was Openda losing a lot of opportunities to score in that game, and somehow they still managed to grind out the result, and that's exactly what we've done in this game. Over the 2 legs, I believe we were really poor. below par. And massive credit to Porto. They had their own a well coached team, if you're asking me, and one of the hardest team for us to break down this season so far. One, if not the hardest. In fact, I would say they've been the hardest team for us to break down this season so far. And we've played a lot of big teams, played Liverpool, played Man City, and had a very good game against them. And this Porto team was just close to being impossible to break down for us. And massive credit to them. They have a 41-year-old Pepe marshalling their defense, had a very, very good game over the two legs. But we, on the other hand, didn't give up, had our own as well. Made sure the only thing they could do was score a screamer, a goal that came out of nothing. Not like we opened up for them to kick us out of the competition. And I'm just so happy that we've finally broken that cause of always getting knocked out of the Champions League, no matter the team we face. In the round of 16, we've seen Monaco knocked us out over the years, and we've seen teams like PSG knock us out over the years, and it's just so annoying. Bayern, Barcelona, and all of these teams, every single year going into the Champions League knockout stage, everybody already knows that's the last bus stop for us. And to finally, get out of that mental blockage of, we cannot make it through to the quarterfinals, is a very, very good thing to see. For the first time in 14 years, the last time we were in Champions League quarterfinal was knocking out Porto as well in 2010. That was 14 years ago. So to see us in this stage competing at this level, we're going into the quarterfinal with teams like Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, PSG, Barcelona, is just an amazing step in this project. I mean, going forward. So massive shout out to David Raya, Gabriel, Saliba. Bro, I think Saliba really needs to step up. I think he really needs to step up. Game by game in recent weeks, he's really not been his best self. He's not been playing at the topmost level that he used to. I just feel like, okay, this is a dip in form. He'll get back to his usual self. Ben White has really improved massively. Game by game, he's been good. And Kivio, another amazing performance. I don't know, like I said in the last video, who else want to kick that guy out of that position, has a massive task on their hands. And Jorginho had a poor outing for me. It was really poor in that game. Declan Rice as well, something just seemed to be wrong with him. Had a very average game. One of his poorest game in an Arsenal shirt. But when he moved back to the sixth position, I think it was better. But when he was playing with Jorginho, they just couldn't make things happen. It was Odegaard doing everything on his own. But when he moved back to that sixth position, it was better. And Odegaard, if not for David Raya, Odegaard would have been my man of the match. Had a very good game. Very good game. Led the team like a leader should. And Bukayo Saka as well had a very poor game for his standard. On the biggest stage, someone that has been questioned that the reason why you're not world class is because you've not delivered on the biggest stage before. And you had an opportunity to do that yesterday, put the team on your back. It was just gotten the better of by Wendell yesterday. Every single time, nearly 80-70% of the time, they went against each other. This guy lost like 60% of the draws, which was not good enough for him. And Havertz as well had a decent game. I'll say he had an average game as well, but he was always there, won the most draw in that game, and at the same time lost the most draws. But it was always there to cause chaos, match up with their physicality. And Trossard, on the other hand, had a very good game, especially that first time. It was so good. Got our goal, got us back into the game. Zinchenko came on in the second half, didn't really do much for me, had a mere game for me, for his standard, for what I would expect him to bring into that game, give us a more of control in that game, but couldn't do that. And Nketiah came on, couldn't really do much. Everybody that stepped up to play that penalty, bro, my heart was here during that penalty, because the first person that stepped up was Odegaard. If he missed that penalty, it would have, tarnished everything he did the entire game. The second person that stepped up was Kai Havertz. If Kai Havertz missed that penalty, Chelsea fans are going to have a field day. And some Arsenal fans that never believed in him as well. A lot of people have said, oh, it's going to be the end of Arteta. This club would have been on his neck Next person that stepped up was Saka. Saka has missed the penalty on the biggest stage before at the Euros. Missed the penalty last season during our title run, and if he missed that particular penalty again, there's going to be a problem on his legacy. And last person was Declan Rice, an 105 million signing, who people has been waiting for to mess up. If he missed that penalty, then it's done. It's done. And he stepped up as well, slotted it home. Massive credit to everyone, the goalkeeper coach, Mikel Arteta, the entire coaching team. It was a great night as an Arsenal fan. Let me know what you guys think about the game. Who was your man of the match? What did you learn from the game? And how far do you see us going into in the Champions League this season? Let me know what you think. Get involved in the comment section. Make sure you like the video. You can share the video. And I will see you on the next one.